you may know from the team Colt Bison.
I haven't played enough fighting games to give you worthwhile commentary on these matches, but I'm happy to be here, folks. Ball. All right, Wind Cutter. Now Rock Ball. Then this really is a fantasy world. So cool.
Right, we are now recording. So, hey everyone, this is Phil. I go by Phil Coop Productions. I am the host of the Conversation podcast, and today I have a special guest with me. So, this is Zach Loera. He's done a lot of great anime shows like Hell's Paradise, Overlord, Kaiju number 8. So, it's nice to have you here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Good day. Having a good day so far? So
so far, pretty good. Yeah.
It's been great, minus all the crazy stuff that's going on earlier today.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Before we get started, I want to ask you, what are your top 3 favorite anime heroes in the Shonen Jump stuff?
And Shonen Jump?
Yeah.
I would put Kafka up there. Maybe at number 1. I really do enjoy that character a lot.
Okay.
I would say Naruto. I don't know about a third. Who would you pick for 3?
I would say Goku for 3.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's Dragon Ball Z. You gotta put Goku up there. Yeah. Let's go with those 3. Yeah.
All right. Yes, definitely Goku, the top guy. Well, he's been around for years, so
yeah, for a long time.
That's nice. All right. So the way we're going to do this, I have over 20 questions. So I divide up into sections. So 4 sections, 5 questions each.
Mm-hmm.
So don't worry, it's going to be some good. I've got some really good deep dives in there too, because I want to know more about you, man.
Yeah, I can't wait. Let's do it.
So section 1, early journey and career path. When did you first realize that voice acting was something you wanted to pursue seriously?
I think I was watching Fairy Tale with, and watching Todd Havercorn go through his whole thing. And I was like, I kind of want to do that. And then, I started, taking classes, went doing theater, and then I went to college for theater, didn't finish. Because I was like, I don't need a degree to be a voice actor. So I just came back to Texas and then met the right people. And the first show I did was One Piece. So.
Okay. And so basically it's like, well, I don't know about this. I don't know if I want to do this, but I think once you started doing it, you realize it's something you wanted to do. Like, I think you just have to test the waters first. Yeah.
And it was still like, it was hard as hell when I first started doing it. Cause I was like, I had no idea, ADR, I didn't know, any of that. I didn't really know how loud or, how to act, I guess, behind a microphone. So it was really interesting. I'm surprised that they brought me back at all, but it ended up working out, that's fine.
Oh, allowed to say, were you nervous or were you sweating a lot in the voice box?
Very nervous. I was sweating so much. That's why I only wear black shirts now, because you can't see if I'm sweating or not. But yeah, I was really nervous. It was nerve-wracking. And, Brandon, my brother, I think he got in maybe a week or so before me. And then, he kind of prepared me for what was going to ultimately, happen in the session. And still, when you're at the time, it was Funimation. So you're sitting in the lobby, waiting for the director to come get you. And you're just like, everything is running through your head, and your mind is just running nonstop. You're like, what the hell am I doing here? And then you get in the booth, and of course it's just you for the first session, because he kind of wants to see what you can do and all that. And man, I tell you what, it was Joel McDonald was the director I was working with at the time, and man, it was just kind of crazy. I mean, if I'm honest with you, it was I was terrified. So,
Well, hey, deep breaths, my friend. Take deep breaths.
No.
Be like, I can do this. It don't matter what the pressure is.
Yeah.
So speaking of Brandon, I did your brother 2 weeks ago. Growing up with Brandon, did you both share an interest in acting early on, or did your pass into voiceover happen at different times?
Yeah, I mean, we had done some theater like really early when we were kids. And I think that was more just, our mom kind of forcing us to do that. But and then junior high school, we were doing shows together and things like that. And then he did his stuff at college, and then I did my stuff at college, and then I think after that we did a few shows together, theater wise. And then he was doing movies, I did some movies, and then that was just I mean, acting, we've kind of always been acting together, like in the sense that we're both doing it, but not really so much that we're like in the same shows or anything like that. So
hey, I guess it runs in the family,
Yeah, and it's crazy too is that we haven't done like a show together, like been cast as like brothers in a show with an anime show, which I'm sure there's something out there, but nobody's cast us in a role together. And I keep every podcast I do, I keep mentioning that. Hopefully that one of the directors will see it and like, oh, you know what, that's a good point. We should do that.
I was thinking y'all should do that. I was thinking, why haven't they been brothers in the show together? They need to do something like that.
I mean, I've seen it too because what was it? God, I can't remember the show. But they were like twin brothers that were fighting the main character. Like I think they were bad guys. Sakamoto Days. That's what it was. I think they were twins in that show, and I was like, well, we could have done that, but they only cast one person for those roles because they wanted them to sound similar. So, well, I get it.
Well, hey, hopefully this will reach out to the director so they can be like, hey, put these guys in the show together. Okay, you got brothers, y'all need to do that.
Yeah.
Listen to Zach here. He wants to be in the show with his brother.
Yeah.
So, number 3, what was the first role or project where you thought I can really do this for a living?
I don't think I've had it yet, if I'm honest with you. I mean, I think I'm still just kind of figuring it out. I've been doing it for years, but I'm still figuring things out even now, as far as like, maybe prepping or getting better at the cold reads, because everything is, a cold read. I would maybe the first character in One Piece that I had, Fujin, maybe that's when I was like, oh, I'm good enough for a named role. Cool. So that was cool. I mean, that was, and Mike McFarlane cast me in that, I think. Unless Emily Fajardo's going to watch this and be like, no, actually, I cast you in that, but I'm pretty sure it was Mike.
Yeah, Mark McFarlane is a legend. Yeah, but I know he's not doing so good with the whole thing. I'm still supporting him. I think recently back then I did gave the fundraiser $100 because I was supporting all the work he was doing.
Yeah, so, and people have been really supportive of that, and I think it's great. I hope he does better than he has been. So
I was like, no, please don't get ready. I don't want any more legends. I mean, we lost Chris Aries back when he was Frieza. He had. We're losing a lot of legends these days. I just can't stand it, man.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
But I think that's nice that you got the chance to do something that makes you feel like I can really do this for a lifetime. That could be like another extraordinary thing to add to my resume, that I've done a lot of great works like One Piece, for example.
Yeah. I mean, it was really cool just to kind of get that initial email, hey, we're casting you as this character. Can you come in, certain amount of time for this and over the next couple of weeks? Like, yes, I would love to do that. And he is the only character I have that has a figurine, but it's way too expensive for me to buy, so I'm not doing that.
They can't give it to you for free. I mean, didn't you voice it?
I mean, maybe you can give it to the Japanese voice actor, but it's like $300 and there's no way I'm buying that.
Zach, they got to give you something for free.
It's maybe I'd reach out to the person. I don't know, but I think it would be cool just to have, like, put it on a shelf or something. office.
Yeah.
How about that?
You trust me. You'll get the stuff. You'll get it.
Yeah.
I believe in you, man.
Yeah. Thanks.
Number 4. How did representation with Power Talent come about, and what has that meant for your career?
Oh yeah. It's what happened. I was taking a class, a voice acting class actually. I'm sorry, my dog alarm. Oh, it's package. I was taking a class, and I was in the middle of doing. I was reading a bit from Soul Eater, I think, just to kind of, do some new characters. And I got a phone call, and I was like, and it like I declined it, and then it ring again. I'm like, all right, I have to answer this. I'll be right back. So I answered the phone, and it's Wendy, and I'm like, oh hey Wendy, how's it going? And apparently she had signed Brandon, before, and then I got Kaiju. Yeah, I was casting Kaiju, and she was like, hey, I'm bringing something together for all Kaiju actors. Do you want to come on board? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So, I've been doing conventions pretty steadily from that, and also with V2 services, which has also been great. So, I mean, just to be, in that space where you can meet people, and like fans will give you like their art or whatever. Super cool. I have actually, I'm gonna grab it.
Okay.
This is one of my character from oh my god, possibly the Greatest Octopus. I don't know why I blanked on that. That's gonna be really embarrassing. But somebody drew me Takumi, and
That is amazing.
I framed it. So yeah.
You got it for someone, and you got a friend. That's even better.
But that's part of the convention life is you get to meet people and have that experience with fans. I think it's really cool.
Really nice. Yeah, I've ran to a bunch of artists, people. This one, they actually be checking out me. We know each other from Instagram and everything. They actually got some of their work signed by some of like the voice actors, like Daenerys Quinones. She was the one who did that miracle painting. It was like S-class leveled. She spent all night trying to get it perfect before the convention 2 days later.
Yeah.
It's really, you got to respect the artists. Like, there's so many art people who would like to draw these characters and have you sign them since you voiced them as well.
I think it's great because I can't draw for shit, so I'll take it.
Me neither. I can't draw. Listen, I tried to do the art thing. I was like, nah, I'll just stick to what I'm good at. I'll stick to the video side of stuff.
Yeah.
Last question of this section, and we're doing good so far. What lessons did you take from your earliest additional voices work that still help you today?
Oh boy, that's a really good question. I would say like the ability to improv well, like especially for like those the Wallace sessions. In fact, I have a Wallace session tomorrow. Where you are just kind of in the room with different people. Like I was doing a Wallace session a while ago with Derek Snow, and just being able to see kind of how they bring a character that is otherwise unnamed to kind of to life, and their process of getting into that is just something that's really cool to see. And I still will watch people like that. I'll do my bit. Like, okay, well, you can, you're free to leave. I'm like, well, can I just like hang around and like watch a little bit? They're always like, yeah. So it's cool to watch them and kind of see, what their process is of getting into the character. So it's paramount to a voice actor, I think, and I know for sure that a lot of the bigger voice actors too still kind of do that as well. Like I was talking to Chris Whitecamp about it, and he was like, even through my time directing, I'm finding that I'm watching different voice actors in their process on how they kind of approach something, and he's like, I'm still using those to this day. So it's definitely something that is, it almost feels like intimate, you know, because when we're doing like auditions and things like that, I can do whatever I want in my own space to kind of, you know, get myself into that mood. But when you're watching somebody do it, you're just like, oh man, is this okay to watch? You know? But yeah, I mean, every actor, I think, would probably have that same answer.
Nice. And listen, from watching you guys over the years in these shows and everything, I mean, each and every one of you, it doesn't matter what voice actor you are, what you guys are going to have strengths and weaknesses. Y'all just need to figure out, you know, the pros and cons of how you guys do things and maybe understand, hey, this is how I did things. What can I do to do better the next time? Because there's always room for improvement when you do these shows. Okay, like, you know, if you mess up the first time, it's not the end of the world. Just do better next time.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what, and it's not just for you guys. It's like with most people these days, like they stress out the little things, and it's like, oh shoot, I'm stressing out for the day, but take a deep breath and figure out what can I do better next time. And you'll have friends to help you out throughout the way. You'll have fellow voice actors that are helping you out and tell you what we can do next time.
I mean, it's great too, because like everybody at Crunchyroll is really supportive, even though like we're, I guess, technically competing with each other. I mean, like we all hang out like all the time. So it's I'm really fortunate to be surrounded by these people that are always, you know, always kind of lifting you up in that way and giving you advice in an otherwise competitive field. So yeah, I love it.
Hey, even voice actors who done like stuff like back in the day in the 90s, they'll be like mentors for you guys.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, because I know people like I think I read something before. I think you're familiar with Macy Ann Johnson by any chance?
Yeah.
She said Mark Riel got her into voice acting. So basically Macy Ann Johnson, that's like her mentor for her, if you see where I'm going with all this.
Yeah. I mean, I've told the story about Mike before, but you know, Mike being on Dragon Ball Z, you know, his whole start with voice acting and all that. I went to a convention to meet, I think it was Todd Havercorn, Mike McFarland, and some other ones. I can't remember the names, but I really wanted to go up to Todd and be like, hey, how do you get into voice acting? Of course, it's even now, like I get it all the time. How did you get started? What do you do to get voice acting? And I know they get tired of hearing it because I sort of get tired of hearing it. But I mean, it's a, you know, how else are you supposed to figure it out unless you just, you know, ask the source, right? So I was like, screw it. I paid Mike $20 for a picture, and all I did was I shook his hand and I said, I'm going to work with you someday. He was like, okay. And then that was the entire conversation. And then flash forward to like, you know, 5 years later, I told him I was doing, God, I think it was either Overlord or One Piece. And I was like, I don't know if you remember me, but I went to the convention once. I said, hey, I'm going to work with you one day. And he was like, actually, I do remember you. And that's super cool because only like 3 other people have done that and actually succeeded. So kudos to you. And I was like, thanks. So, I mean, being able to not only work, but see, you know, the voice actors that you kind of grew up hearing, it's really weird, but it's really cool.
Hey, listen, whenever you see opportunity, you just take it. There's no saying dream big or don't dream at all.
I like that.
Thanks. I try my best to make sure I have good advice and get some good analogies in here too.
Yeah. You're doing well.
Does help. I did that with all my previous episodes. I tried to bring some lessons in here.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, so we're done with that session. We're in section 2 now. Character deep dive.
Ooh, okay.
Yes, get ready.
I'm ready.
Let's start with Kaiju number 8. How did you approach bringing Ryo Ikaruga to life, and what do you personally connect with in him?
God, Ryo Ikaruga. The approach there was, how do I make this badass character sound badass? without sounding like I'm trying too hard. It's funny because like I think where his voice is, it's like if you had took a shot of whiskey and smoked some cigarettes. That's what he sounds like, I think.
Yeah.
Because he is just low and gruff, and he's always yelling at the vice captain, which I don't really relate to. I'm more of a quiet person, although I'm sure my voice acting friends are listening to this are like, yeah, that's not true. But what do I relate with him? He's really stubborn, and I'm stubborn, so I can relate to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think stubbornness is the binding factor there.
Hey, hey, stubbornness is a good thing to have. And it's nice that you because I know what every character that they tell y'all your voice, y'all have to figure out. And I talked about this with the last voice actor. How can I bring my personality in these characters I voice?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, and I know some people will do the research of character first. Maybe they'll read the manga first. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes you guys don't do that. Not every voice actor does that, but they find ways to make sure, hey, I can bring my personality in this character if I just dig deep and think very hard about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've had this conversation too before where, do you research, do you not research? I think it really just depends on the role and how much you want that influence on what you're going to be doing. It's like with Alchemy, I did full research. I mean, read the manga, wiki page, all that, and Ikaruga, same thing, especially for these the bigger shows. I want to make sure that I get it right. Otherwise, fans will attack you. And I get it. I've been in that position before too. But it's also you're acting, so you want to kind of bring your own thing into it. So it's do you want to just follow what the Japanese did, or do you want to the Koreans or whatever kind of show it is? I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to find the line, but there is a line on how much you want to prepare beforehand. And sometimes I don't do it at all because I'm like, I just want to do this cold. I want to figure out who he is in the moment and not just the textbook of the things that I've read.
Yeah, I understand. And listen, I think the way that you're doing it, Zach, you're doing research. And I like that you're doing research because, most of us actors don't research the characters. Some don't research. But, because I know, it's for you and your example, if I want to make this work for the rest of my voice acting career, I've got to research these characters so I know exactly what I'm going into. You don't want to go into unknown territory.
Yeah. And it's, when you get in the booth, the director's going to give you a certain amount of backstory anyway. So, I mean, I think it really just kind of depends on who you're working with and what show it is, because part for me too is that I want to meet the expectations that the director kind of has, for me, because they've cast me in this role. They know I can do what they want, but also, they kind of want you to, again, do your own thing and not just be a kind of a recorder for whatever. I'm not even sure that was a good analogy, but it's, I don't know. I would say do research to a degree, but don't get too sucked into it.
Right. And listen, I know it can be stressful. I want to make sure the director is pleased with my performance. I know, but it can be a little stressful at times. But I know that, listen, before you get in, and I don't know if anyone else is going to be listening, if you're trying to get into voice acting, just go in, take a deep breath, pray first, and then go straight in there.
Yep. Do whatever you have to do to calm the nerves. That's my biggest thing too, is I still get nervous before going into the booth. And I have the really bad habit, and Jerry Jewell knows. He's suffered through it for all season, and now another season that's going to be coming up. But I talk really fast when I'm nervous, to the point where like you can still understand me,
Right.
but in terms of recording for an anime that has a certain pace and the mouth flaps and all that, I'll finish my line and the mouth flaps are still just a whole like full 3 seconds, and I'm like, damn, I gotta slow down, and I have to slow down now. Multiple takes, and I'm sure the engineers are like, oh, this guy again, but I'm working on it, I swear.
Well, listen, you just want to take your time. Like I said, voice acting is an art. It's a masterpiece. You're trying to paint this picture nice and slowly. You can't get it done correctly if you just rush. Just take your time. And if you mess up, it's okay. Pick yourself up and keep moving.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is that with people doing their own like voiceover stuff, it's okay to mess up. And in fact, the times that I had messed up, I've learned more, because directors like, I see what you're doing, but try doing this instead. Like there was an instance where like I had never had an instance where like I had to eat, like my character hadn't eaten on screen, and I was like, how do I make it sound like I have something in my mouth when I don't have anything in my mouth? And I think it was Jerry. He said, just invert your tongue and say the line. And it sounds like you have something in your mouth. I'm like, that's a good idea. So I did. And the class was like, you're doing something. So.
That's sweet. That's sweet. All right, next question, and this is going back to that art you showed me. For possibly the greatest alchemist of all time, you voiced Takumi Uruma. How do you balance his lighter comedic tones with the more serious sides of his character?
Oh man, it's funny because like he doesn't have a whole lot of dynamic acting. He's very, I wouldn't say stoic. He's much just trying to keep it cool all the time, and then when something goes wrong, he loses it. Like the part where he was trying to separate himself from Sophia and Maria. He was like, yeah, it's fine. You guys just do your own thing, and we'll be good. And then, of course, they started threatening him, and then he started just crying. It was really cool, because I hadn't had, again, a character that had gotten really emotional, and I love doing that kind of stuff because I'm always ready to cry. But it's really cool just to kind of be able to do these really dynamic emotions, especially since he's kind of a character that is usually out of my purview. I usually play like the big brutish, bad guys and things like that. So being cast in that role was a shock. I was like, was this an accident?
Yeah.
But I managed to. I think I managed to make it work.
I can tell. And listen, every time when y'all do those scenes, I understand, like, okay, like if we're getting to like a very serious scene, you got to be like, okay, we're getting to like a very dark scene, like tragic kind of thing. Y'all have to like change your emotions, like your own personal emotions into these characters. Now, if it's like more comedic persons, y'all got to add some laughter, of course, because sometimes people just be like, okay, this scene, I'm the dark and edgy person here.
Yeah.
This way, I'm the happy-go-lucky guy. Look at me. Got a thing.
It's cool too, because there is a take out there somewhere. There's a file where he's not, I don't remember what his voice range is. Sophia Maria. I think it's kind of up there. Yeah. So I did a full take of him like really dark down here. So I really did enjoy doing that bit. It'll never see the light of day, but I did enjoy doing that.
I can tell.
Actually, no, there is a scene in there in the show where he has like little angels on his shoulders, I think. And really? I did do a deep voice talking to me there. Yeah.
Did you like go super deep, like scary voice?
I think I remember the line was like, he was debating about like the whole like panty episode or whatever. He was like, do it now. And that was like the devil or whatever that was on his shoulder. But yeah, that was a cool bit.
Oh man. So even in the voice boxes, you guys are having fun. So
Oh yeah, I mean, we had so many inside jokes throughout that show. Like we had a bit where he was just really into Jesus because he kept saying the Lord, but it was the Lord of the village. But every time he said the Lord, I was like, he's just really into Jesus. We had some other ones that I won't get too much into, but yeah, I mean, it's super fun being in the booth, especially like when you're in the booth for like 6 hours. You kind of have to, entertain yourself in a way.
man, I wish that I was there so I can check out all the stuff in action. I can't go inside the studios or nothing.
I know.
I just want to see y'all in action. Just
I
once.
I do like that they're putting out like some behind the scenes stuff now, so that's cool. We used to be able to like go in there and just like record ourselves doing our bits, but we can't do that anymore. So
One of these days I will check you out in person. I'll figure
yeah,
out. But instead, I get to pick your brains, which is fun
yeah,
too.
yep. That's what we're
Nothing wrong
doing.
with picking your brains. All right, number 3. You've done both ensemble work with Hell's Paradise, Overlord, the Sacred Kingdom, and more standout roles. Which environment challenged you the more, and why?
Environment in terms of like the show setting.
Yes.
I would say Overlord movie poster.
I see it. I see the poster.
Yeah. I also have the ticket stubs for when I went to go see it. I would say Overlord because not really. I guess not really the setting, so that doesn't really answer your question. But I'll go into it anyway. Overlord because I was a fan of the show before I was a voice actor. Huge fan of the show. I love the show. So getting to do the movie was a bit of a shock. Again, it's always a shock when I get cast. I don't think it's ever going to stop. And it was with Mike McFarland, which was also, again, still a shock, even though I've worked with him and seen him all the time. So I would say Overlord for those reasons, and also just the setting of the world itself, kind of terrifying. Also, because Ainz is a terrifying character. Yeah, I would say Overlord for that. Yeah.
Well, I can tell. I've seen Overlord a few times. I was actually getting ready to watch the movie this week because I haven't seen the movie. I was watching the show because I'm trying to diversify my watch list. But yeah,
This is, I think it's the third movie. I think it's the third movie.
okay.
If you look on Crunchyroll, they might have like 3 of them now. I think it's on there now, but yeah.
Okay. And so yeah, overall was that was like your big area to move around in. Like I like the show. I'm used to the characters in here. Pretty much just, a walk in the park.
Yeah, I mean it's honestly it's really I think it's technically an isekai because of how it started, but it's just they've kind of it almost feels like they've abandoned the isekai element of it now, and he's just this OP spellcaster guy. But the world building aspect of it has been it's I think it's great. Like especially like I love that the world building side of things too, because Campfire Cooking in Another World was another one that I really enjoyed, primarily for the world building that they had for it. And the food, obviously, the food looked amazing. And that's one of the things that I hated about Sword Art, was that we didn't like. They went through like the first couple of floors in the show, and then it was just like we're on floor 70 now, and the show's almost over. I'm like, you could have made so many seasons going through each floor and just exploring the whole world. It would have been great. I would have watched the hell out of that.
Oh boy, listen. Don't tell Bryce Papenbrook or Jeremy Lake about that, okay?
Oh, I know. Yeah, we've had these conversations before, but yeah. And I know there's haters of the show, the Sword Art out there, which I get it, but it is like a comfort show for me.
I sometimes when I be watching the show, I know a purist will have issues, but hey, I'd be like, if the show was good, I'll stick around.
Yeah.
But if it's not good, bye-bye, sayonara. I'm going.
Yeah, there's not many shows out there that I've been started and not finished. And there is one that I will totally get hate for, but I'm going to say it anyway. Could not get into Dandadan.
Oh
Couldn't do
boy.
it. I think it might have been like the whole fan service, like in the first episode. I was like, holy shit, what is this? It's easier too. Like when I was younger, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. Who cares? But now I'm like, show me more cooking things, So
Oh
yeah.
boy. You didn't tell AJ Beggles and Abby Trot that, did you? That y'all couldn't get
No.
into it. Don't
No.
tell him
No.
that.
No, I'll never say that to his face.
Oh my god. No, he's a great guy. But I understand with Don to Don. I actually saw him in June at Bold Matsuri. I only saw Nereus because they're both together. So I was like, and now he's coming to my state, Georgia, for Anime Weekend Atlanta. I was like, are these guys following me?
Oh yeah.
I was like, I thought I covered my tracks. Usually the fans follow the voice actors, not the other way around.
Right. Yeah. I was just in Atlanta too 2 weeks ago.
How was it?
It was great. You guys have really tall trees.
Well, hey, I
mean,
have a lot.
not really
I have a
trees.
lot. I have a lot of family up there in Atlanta, so that's why I'm, used to it.
I thought it was great. Weather was nice. I went to go see Sleep Token. That's why I have this shirt on. But yeah.
That's sweet. Sometimes, as you know, when directors make these shows, they try to do it the best way they can. It may not make sense to the fan audience, but some people might get the story. Some people don't. Basically, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm trying to diversify my watch list. My sister got me into Naruto. I enjoyed the show so far.
Oh, my best friend is just all about Naruto. He's like, have you watched Shippuden? I'm like, yes. I did it for you. Every time I go to his house, Naruto's on the TV. I'm like, you've seen this so many times.
Yeah. Right now I'm wearing my Bakugo shirt because final season of My Hero starts this week, so I'm going full My Hero Academia this whole week.
Starts this week? I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yes, I put the countdowns on my Instagram. Like, I don't want the show to end, but
I'm still itching for a role in My Hero. I am in Vigilantes, but I'm still not in My Hero. I need to get a role in My Hero.
You never know. One can hope.
Yeah,
and I was like, because after the show, I was like, are there really going to be any more stories to tell? Are they going to give him a fifth movie? I don't know. Maybe possible. I'm not sure. But we shall see.
Yeah.
So.
Hopefully.
Let's see. We're almost at the halfway point. Number 4, voice acting can mean breathing life into different genres: fantasy, sci-fi, slice of life. Do you have a genre you feel most at home in, or one you'd like to explore more deeply?
I would want to explore isekais. I mean, yeah, I know that a lot of these shows are trashy as far as the isekais go, but damn it, they're good. I think they're good. I would say isekai and slice of life. I do really enjoy, again, the world building aspect of it. Excuse me one second. And just kind of, it seems like a cool place to be, like I said, Campfire Cooking Another World was great. Delicious in Dungeon I thought was also really cool. Yeah, I would say isekais and slice of life.
Gotta love those slice of life. Listen, Zach, don't judge me, but I did get emotional and cried on Your Lie in April.
Oh yeah.
I got emotional. My tears were coming down, like, for real.
Yeah,
she had cancer. I felt bad. She had cancer and she just died. I was like, wait, you just let her die at the end of the show? Why?
Yeah. I've had those too. Like Erased was one that I really just couldn't keep it together for. Oh damn, that show.
Yeah, I was watching stuff like Wuthering with You. I want to watch that movie again. That was really nice because I am trying to watch that and Suzume. I was going to try to watch that maybe this weekend because I'm trying to catch up on like those kind of films, the G Kids films kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm fine behind. But yeah, it's just Slice Life Isekai. I don't know if you saw Suicide Squad Isekai. That's like
I haven't. No.
yeah, it's really good. Listen, I don't care what the haters say. That show is amazing. I don't care. Harley Quinn and them, it was amazing.
I think I did see that it was not well received. Maybe I don't know. I think I did see that it was coming out. I didn't know if it was any good or not though. Based on just what people are saying, I don't know.
Yeah, who cares what they say? I like the show.
Yeah. I tend not to formulate my own opinions based on others, but you still have to get some information.
Well, hey, I agree with you with Slice of Life. I gotta watch more of those. Even though if I might shed a tear a bit, it's part of those life lessons,
Yeah, and it's also one of the genres that my wife will actually watch with me, so she's kind of getting into more anime stuff. But yeah, she does enjoy Slice of Life as well.
Yeah. All right, number 5, and then we'll be on the halfway mark. If you could step inside the shoes of one of your characters for a day, just for a day, who would you pick and why?
Just for a day. I gotta say Takumi. He can make shit with his hands, and that's pretty general. But he can do cool things like magic, which is cool. And he lives in a mansion, which is also cool. And he's got a pet spider. Well, he used to be a spider, but yeah, I would say Takumi.
I love the shoes of those billionaires in their mansions.
Yeah.
They all got mansions. I tell you.
And he's got a cool Drake horse now, which is also really cool. And he's got a carriage that is also a mansion. So it's hard to say. It's hard to not to say Takumi in that situation.
So pretty much living in luxury.
Yeah.
I don't mind living in luxury for a bit. See what it's like. See what the rich life like.
That's what I like doing. I like getting on Zillow and going to the really expensive zip codes and seeing what I can't afford. I mean, I can't afford anything, but I like looking at the nice houses, and I'm like, oh, you know what I could do with this space? It's my whole little studio. And of course, it's a pipe dream, but I do like doing that.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. I do want to take a look and see how much. Like one time I saw there was a house that cost like almost all the stuff in it was like almost $10,000.
Damn.
I know, right?
The stuff in the house was only $10,000.
Yes.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just everything, not just pieces by pieces, like everything all together.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh man, I'm good. I'm good with living the simple, quiet life.
Yeah.
All right, we're at the halfway point now, so we're getting close. Section 3: industry growth and collaboration. Now, what's one misconception people have about what goes into recording additional voices or background characters?
Misconceptions about background characters. I don't know, because I guess that they're not important. Because really, I mean, if you go back and watch a scene, that's got a busy, crowded area, and you just kind of, let's say, it's somebody destroying a city or something, and you have these people screaming in terror. It sets the scene. It sets the mood of what is either coming or what's going to happen, just from listening to the background characters. For example, there was a Hell's Paradise in the first episode. I think there was like a bunch of shit was on fire, and I had to the most agonizing scream. I think it was Mike again. I keep bringing Mike up, but
it's okay. It's okay. Bring Mike up.
I was screaming, and he was like, "It doesn't sound like you're on fire. You need to sound like you're on fire." And I was like, "I've never been on fire. I don't know how to make that sound with my mouth." But I was just like, you know what? Let's just. And I kind of do that too, where I have to bring myself. I have to do things to myself to get into that kind of space, So it wasn't on fire, but I think I remember really just squeezing the shit out of my chest and my stomach to where it was like physically painful, and that way I could kind of at least make it sound like I was in pain of some sort, whether or not be fire or whatever. But that is one of the biggest things for the background characters, is that they're setting the scene, and they're kind of bringing you into what emotions you're going to be experiencing soon. So,
sometimes and these people they underestimate the background characters or the supporting characters in the show. Like, okay, let's take My Hero Academia, for example. In that episode, after the 2 flash fires, extras where Endeavor Hawks were fighting 0 for 1, he was saying, there were pesky people called the extras who would try to stop the villain in the main show. That's what he said. And I was like, man, 0 for 1 be underestimating these side characters now. I mean, did you see Earphone Jack and Tsukuyami going at him? Like,
oh yeah,
they bringing the heat. Don't underestimate them now. So
that's true.
He's using all kind of scare tactics, like, hey, my dear, you've been training in the classroom, but this is real life.
Yeah. Background characters are essential, I think.
So, and that's like one of the things that got me fired up when we talked about this question, because I was like, y'all gotta stop underestimating the support in the background characters, because you will be surprised of how much heat they bring to the game.
Yeah, it's true.
And I think that's what some of the fans right now are doing. They're underestimating the supporting characters, the background. Like, pay attention. You might learn something from them.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Well, number 2, on behind the voice actors, you've got multiple repeat collaborations with people like Landon McDonald, Brent Mukai. What do you enjoy most about working alongside peers?
Man, it's cool. Landon's such a good dude. I mean, like, top tier individual. He and others as well. But I find that I keep working with Landon in different shows. What's cool about it is that, like, again, they're like really supportive, which, I mean, I don't know what I kind of thought, like, going into the whole industry, but maybe I thought it was like dog eat dog kind of thing. It's not that way. I mean, they're so nice. They're so friendly. I still, I'm talking on the phone with them. I FaceTiming them sometimes when they're at concerts, which just happened. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, just to kind of be around them and then kind of learn from what they're doing too. It's super cool. I mean, top tier people. Love them.
It's nice. And listen, you got to listen, in this business, whatever career you're trying to do, you want to make sure you have a stable relationship with the co-workers or the peers that you're working with on these like different shows and projects. Because I know a lot of you guys in California, y'all had to make sure y'all develop, because there's a lot of y'all. There's like, I don't know the exact number. Maybe like at least, I don't know if it's 1 million of y'all, but I don't know. But y'all just have to make sure y'all make those connections and understand, hey, we can work together on these certain projects and understand, our strengths and weaknesses and how we can lift each other up and something doesn't go well as planned.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's so much to learn in this industry that classes can't really teach, in a way, just kind of cadence, how to, motivate yourself, I guess, in a way. And that's the kind of thing that you kind of get from to working with peers and talking through things with them.
Yeah, and listen, my parents were a little concerned that I wasn't going out and talking to more people. So I was like, maybe I could find another way, because most of these people I talk to, they're like across the globe and everything. So that's how I picked this thing up, and it's working out perfectly. Like, they see that I'm connecting with others and having these kind of conversations, understanding you. Because I talked to somebody before, because thing is, because I know most of you guys have like different heritage, and I want to understand your heritage, like how got into, because there's like because I think Caitlin Glass, right?
Yeah.
Because she is trying to bring like more inclusive and diverse people into these roles, like because most of these roles that you see are mostly voiced by Japanese people, and it's like Hispanics, blacks, Koreans, they can voice these characters too. So I just want if I can, if possible, I want to have the chance to sit down and connect and talk with you guys on like a more one-on-one personal level.
Yeah. I mean, Caitlin is great. She's like a ball of energy. I think she directed my brother's show, and of course Soul Leveling, which I'm in. I think no, I'm totally in that. Background characters, but still,
It's okay.
But Caitlin. I love what she's doing. I hope to work with her again on another show. She's really cool people. Yeah.
I actually met her. I have a picture of her. I met her at Savannah and Amazing. I probably should have asked her more questions. Why didn't I do that? I was still in my kid area, the candy store. But now that I'm getting older these days, I'm actually trying to figure out what kind of questions can I ask at these conventions now. So
isn't it so strange too? Like when you meet these people, you get like really nervous and you just forget like everything that you were gonna ask. I still get that way, especially with Caitlin, because it's Caitlin. And it's hard too for like a voice actor like me, like that's not like super huge, but like seeing people that are huge. Like I was coming out of my show, the Alchemy show, I was going to the bathroom, and I ran into Alex Lee. Like I physically ran into him because I wasn't looking. I'm dumb. But when you look up and I was like, oh shit, it's Alex Lee. I was like, this is gonna beat my ass. It's just weird. Like you have to like maintain composure, even though what you really want to do is like grab them and like, hey, can I have an autograph? Can I get a picture or something like that? I opened the door for Chris Sabat once, which I was like, perfect.
yeah, and listen, I'm still learning how this whole thing works. It's part of life, right? We all have to learn.
Yeah.
So I'm making it work. I'm doing better with trying to make sure I have like certain things to ask them when I go to these conventions. But yeah, it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
So, number 3, how do you balance individuality as a performer while working in group dubs where timing and synergy are crucial?
Damn, dude, these questions are something else.
Hey, listen, I bring the receipts now. I bring receipts.
Yeah. Individuality in a group setting. You have to, because if you are all kind of doing the same thing, then it's like, what is actually going on? You have to kind of pick who you are or who you want to be, and then ride that out for the whole session. And of course you're constantly changing because the different cues and all that. But
definitely.
Like there was, who was I doing Wallow with? I think it was Nassim Benacour. He's kind of like a cool, calm, collected guy, but the characters that he plays are really like high energy, just like always moving around and shit like that. And I'm like, chill out, man. So I kind of will set myself to kind of balance that out. So if he's doing like something that's really high and energetic, I'll just kind of more stoic and calm nature. So being the individuality part of that, I think is key in those sessions to kind of balance each other out.
That's sweet. And sometimes you gotta have those like fire up moments to like, oh man, this is something interesting here.
Yeah.
I always get that way sometimes when I'm doing something. I'd be like, okay, I'm locked in. We got to keep the pressure on when I'm doing this certain project.
Yeah. Yeah, because I find it too, like when I'm in like a Wallace session like that, it's kind of nerve-wracking for me because I'm like, oh, is this cringy? Should I not do this? Should I not say this? So I ended up like, I I try to like do like funny bits, like in between takes, just to kind of like cut tension, because you can tell like people are also like, you don't know how long they've been doing it. Like some of the actors that I've been working with, like it's their first time in the booth. I'm like, I could tell they're nervous. I'm like, oh, gotta cut the tension, gotta make them laugh or something, and then maybe we could ease more into characters and then do our bits. But yeah, there's times where let's just get stuff done, get the hell out of there.
Oh, definitely, man. And I think that's what you make it work in the end, no matter what life throws at you. Once you get into the booth, it doesn't faze me.
Yeah.
So, all right, number 4. Listen, it's not a competition, okay? It's not a competition. Do you ever find yourself comparing your career path to Brandon's, or do you see your journeys as completely separate?
No, we're always competing. I mean, it's just a constant competition. When he got cast in his lead role, he called me and he was like, "Just got a lead," and this is exactly what it was like. I'll tell you. 1 second.
Oh, okay.
So he told me he got his lead, right? Okay, and this is what happened. Shit! No! And then I was like, yo, that's super cool. and that's how it's always been. And then I called him, 2 weeks later, said, "Hey, I also got my first lead role." He was like, "Are you serious? Are you joking?" I was like, "Nope." So I sent him a screenshot of the email, and that's how it's been ever since. We're just constantly competing. So now it's whoever gets the next lead role. We'll see.
Lord.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Don't beat yourselves up while doing that. Y'all basically rivals at this point. Y'all basically Goku and Vegeta at this point, trying to get.
I mean, we are, and that's probably why we haven't been casting a show together. Oh.
Man. I'm sure. Well, I might have to pay attention to y'all two more often and see who's going to get what next. See, now you got to be interested in y'all rivalry.
I'm telling you, it is, because like he'll call me and I know exactly what he's going to say when he calls me. He's got something new. He's doing this thing. He's going to California and doing this. And I tend to keep mine, more like secretive until it comes out. Like I have 3. I just got cast in 3 new characters, and he only knows about 1. I don't think he knows about the other 2 yet. So he'll find those out when the post comes out.
If you want, I'll try to keep it secret.
Yeah.
Way you can find out.
Yeah.
So, okay, guy, you made my stomach hurt. I blame you.
I'm sorry.
I'm just laughing. Number 5. What has been your proudest growth moment as an actor so far?
Growth moment. Oh boy. I guess the ability to develop a character in like less than 5 minutes. I think that's, usually especially for like theater, you have time to, build up this character, read through the script and all that. But with voice acting, you don't have that. You have 2 minutes right before, the beeps start going to kind of develop who you want to be, and then run with that. So I think the ability to cold read and get into character quickly is like the best thing I've done acting wise.
That's great. You had to learn first, but look at you now. You got it down pat. Cold read, research the character, and know their psyche, and just get right into it. All right. Well, we are at the finale, section 4. Fine, we're at the finale. Now, life beyond the booth and looking ahead. Outside of voice acting, you've mentioned being into music. Does singing influence your approach to voiceover performance?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. So I was in this death metal band at like pre-COVID, and I learned how to scream and do these kind of things. I'd known for a while, but I started actually doing it for like live shows and things like that back in the day, and that has helped a lot for different characters like Vijay Randalo, and he's basically just a scream the entire time, just in different ways. So learning how to do that safely and for a long amount of time has been pretty crucial, because if I hadn't, well, even when I was doing Vijay, I think I screwed up definitely, because I could taste like blood in my throat, from just what I was doing wrong. That might have just been the nerves, but yeah, learning how to control and breathe through things like that. I think that's helped a lot as far as the singing goes.
Hey, listen, you're not the only person who's also done music. There are a lot of like sports people, like basketball players, Megan Thee Stallion for one, she's into all this stuff.
Yeah.
These basketball players who are going to like these conventions, they said the anime and the music stuff from the anime stuff, like those theme songs, they get me hyped up when it's game time.
Yeah. It's because I mean, I don't know, like the setup before the show starts with the whole credits and the different music that's going through there, I'm always like, yeah. And so I'm getting into ready to watch the show or whatever. Like the opening song for possibly the Greatest Alchemist, banger. Kaiju number 8, banger. I mean,
what do you expect? Kaiju number 8, that was sung by One Republic, and I
love
that's
Republic. True. Yeah.
I love One Republic. But yes, my sister is actually watching that show. She told me I should check it out as well. Of course, so I was like, yes, I'll if I get the time, I'll check out Kaiju number 8.
You haven't seen it yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, it's so good. You need to watch it.
See, I know, right? Listen, I got a whole watch list of anime to catch up on, because thing is, I was gonna start watching Dawn to Dawn this weekend. Thing is, I'm trying to watch it before I see AJ again, because I said I was going to check it out back in June when I saw him at the last convention.
You're going to have to. He's going to yell at you. I'm going to tell him to yell at you. I'm just kidding.
But yes, I would definitely. I'm adding Kaiju number 8 to my watch list. So I got so much stuff to watch. I haven't watched any shows in a while, because I was trying to make sure I was all caught up with My Hero Academia season 7, because final season starts this weekend.
Yeah, I did get caught up. I think 2 weeks ago I finished the last season, so caught up, ready to go.
And then I'm also trying to watch Spy Times Family, because the voice actors for Spy Times Family is going to be in Atlanta, and I was like, I can't see the voice actors if I ain't watched the show. And
isn't there another season coming out for that?
Yeah, season 4 starts this weekend.
Yeah, well,
I gotta catch up. I suck.
Yeah, I have a whole backlog. Don't even worry about it.
No. Sorry, man. I'm just upset at myself.
Yeah. Well, don't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah. Number 2, you might not like this one. If you weren't into voice acting, if you weren't doing voice acting, what career or creative path did you think you'd be on right now?
I mean, I guess before voice acting, I was still voice acting at the time. I was making beer. That was a cool industry. Also not cool. I don't know. It was not. I mean, getting up at like 6 in the morning was kind of shitty. But I don't know. Software engineer. I'm still kind of doing that, so I would say software engineer.
I got my certification in PC repair and network technician last week.
Ooh, nice. Congratulations.
So, I'm almost done with my cybersecurity program, so I'll be done by Christmas. So
wow.
I'm not finished yet, but I realized I understood while media is amazing, the job industry can be a little limited.
Yeah, so, it is. Yeah.
So pretty much I had to treat it like, okay, because I know sometimes, and I spoke to Rico Fajardo about this back in February, saying you guys have other jobs besides voice acting. So he actually started a cybersecurity class, and people are like, oh, wow. Lemillion is teaching us cybersecurity?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about. It's too, because like, there has been I've had some other software engineer jobs, but like I'll start this job at a company, and then there's always one person that was like, I know who you are, and I'm like, let's not talk about that here. You know,
Oh Lord.
it does get weird, but you kind of get used to it.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, it's hard to like because I know like people like John Swasey, he has a 9 to 5 job because I heard that from Jay. He has a 9 to 5 job. Other people like Kaylee Mills, for example, she actually does audio engineering.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you guys have other jobs besides voice acting. And listen, that's fine. Sometimes you want to like basically it's like you have to figure out, okay, we're done with this show now. What can we do in the meantime until something else comes up?
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody's got, at least everybody that I know, has like a full-time job while doing this. Like, Wendy Powell, she's a school teacher. Dusty Feeney, also a school teacher. There's, I don't know how they do that, and then voice acting. Like, I just work from home, so I can kind of do whatever I want. But yeah,
hey, nothing wrong with having a home office. Listen, by the time I finish this program, I'm probably gonna be stuck at home working on a computer like 24/7.
Yeah, you will. That is your life from now on.
Hey, still want to go out and get some fresh air.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't want to stay in my man cave all day.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think you're gonna like this one. Number 3, the anime industry continues to expand rapidly in the U.S. We've seen that with Demon Slayer and Infinity Castle because now they're trying to get it for the Oscars.
Yep. Yeah.
Because I was like, they're actually trying to get the first anime movie into the Oscars.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pay attention to you guys. Haven't seen the movie yet. Going to try next week.
I haven't seen it either. I hope to watch it soon.
So, where do you see yourself in it 5 years from now?
Years from now, I would probably hope to be doing some directing. I would love to kind of step into that side of things. Just again to kind of soak up as much knowledge as possible. Hopefully, maybe by then I'll have like a role with a Funko Pop would be great. And I would want to guest. Have guest or going to guest at Anime Fest. I would love to do local Anime Fest or some Anime Fest, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, it's full of possibilities. I can see yourself doing directing. Listen, one thing I will say, hey, and I said this before on my profile. Great things take time.
Mm-hmm.
It does. Yep. It does. Listen, it may not happen overnight, but just slow down, enjoy the path that you're on right now. It'll happen.
I'm not a patient person. I have zero patience, and I have kids that I have no patience.
Oh boy, I know, but hey, you don't give up.
It's true. Yeah,
don't give up. Listen, Zach, I promise you, it will happen. You will direct one day.
I hope so.
What's one advice would you give to someone who's just starting out and hoping to break into voice acting? I had a friend who was here previously, and she's trying to get into voice acting. She's based in North Carolina, but she's done a lot of stuff in New York. So she was saying, I was like, okay, I'll ask them if they can give any advice.
Advice would be, and I've said it before, it's kind of unconventional, but like, do something to where you get really good at character building or improv. Like, D&D is a really good way to do that because with D&D you have to you're constantly improvising, you're constantly building this character, and these kind of lessons, they stay with you forever. You don't really forget how to build characters. So something like that, you don't necessarily have to like take classes. A lot of people are like, I've got to take classes or I'm never going to get noticed. That's not really how it works. Kids that. So that, I think that would be something to, the biggest takeaway would be to do something that we can build characters and improv with that.
There you go. All right, last question. We're at the end. Okay. So finally, when fans think of Zach Loera down the line, what do you hope they remember about your work?
I hope that they remember that I and a man of the people. You know, I'm a fan, just like my fans are fans. I'm a fan of anime. I love watching anime. If there is a time, and I'm pretty active on the anime dub subreddit, and I guess the people there know that too. But if there's a point in time where I can give information about a show, I will give information about a show, especially the ones that I'm in. Like with possibly the Greatest Alchemist, I was sick during a recording, couldn't do episode 9, and the episode dropped. You know, without the English dub, obviously. But everybody was freaking out. Where's the dub? We can't find the dub. Where's the dub? And I was like, I'm sick. I can't record. And they're like, oh, okay, that's fine. It's fine. It's actually the nicest thread in Reddit history. I feel like that everybody was really, you know, understanding and supportive. So that was really cool. So if you're watching, thank you. But I hope that's what they would remember as I'm just a man of people.
Sweet. That's sweet, man. Well, I think that wraps it up. I think we had a good conversation, you know, minus the me coming late from travel. How did you feel, man?
It's great. You have really great questions. I was afraid it was just going to be like, how do I get into voice acting? You know, that's always a question that we get. And which again, it's not a bad question. It just, you know, it comes up every time you're at a convention or, you know, you see somebody on the street and they're like, oh, how'd you do that?
Hey, listen, if I'm going to make this is nice, I got to make sure I have really hardware tough questions for you guys. I'll be here,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, oh, by the way, Jay says thanks for coming on. I appreciate you too. So,
yeah.
But hey, I'm going to check out these shows, man. And listen, thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me. It was great.
Today. Well, hey, enjoy the rest of your week. I'm sure it's going to be nice. So go do something fun.
Yeah, you as well. Congrats on the computer science stuff. That's awesome.
Thanks, man. Well, sayonara.
See you later.
Mm-hmm.